Hey class, this is Young coming at you with another recording for database development. Since today we're gonna learn about SQL development, it's better if I just do the actual lecture by writing the SQL for you to see. If you haven't yet, please make sure you install Oracle SQL Developer. You can find the installation guide in the discussion forum that I have posted for you. Once you loaded this tool up, just click on connection, go to new connection. Over here, before that you gotta make sure your Oracle is starting. So if you just type Oracle on your computer, this is a Windows 10 computer. Otherwise, if you use Windows 7, refer to the document on how to start your Oracle server. Remember, this is the tool that you can use to access your database, but you have to start your database server first. For that, just load it and start it, then go to connection. Let's make a new connection. For connection name, you can just name it anything you want to. For this probably card, just test. Right, this is like for this connection, what do you want to label this connection as? So under here is, you see the host name, the port. If you're not familiar, host name is basically the address of the server where your actual database is located at. Usually whenever people say server, they really mean another computer that is dedicated to just run your database. So in a lot of time, host name going to be the IP address of that computer. Localhost just mean it is locally on the computer that you're using. So right now my database server and my database UI tool both locate on the same computer, which is my computer. Username is going to be system, all capital case. Password is whatever password that you created your database with when you first configure it. Okay, now if you click test, you should see the little status over here, and this will say success. That means you provide the correct username and password in order to access your database located on this address, localhost, and the port is 1521. Alright, once you connected, as you can see before, under connection, this didn't exist, but after I connected, now it actually exists over here. And this also print an editor view for me. If you expand that test, you're gonna see tables, views, and all these other folders. What you're most interested in is gonna be tables for now. If you expand table, you're gonna see a set of system tables that already exist. This exists by default. When you first install Oracle, these are the tables that Oracle will install for you. So you have to make your own table for now. To make a table, you always start out with using create table. Okay, and then you would give it the name, so create table, and then the actual name that you want to call your table. I would just call it Young. Okay, then you want to open and close parentheses. Inside of here is the content or the structure that you want your table to have. So for table Young, I want to have first name. Alright, so these are the variable name. It doesn't matter what syntax you follow, but I'm sorry, what convention you follow, but usually people would use all capitals letter for this. Alright, column name is case insensitive, so this is pretty much just for you to see. So I will call first name, and the data type is going to be varchar2. In Oracle, there's varchar2. In other databases, there may be varchar. It's just a different type. Varchar basically mean for this table Young, for column first name, I can only store character. Okay, so you can do a Google search on all the available characters that you can have for your table. Varchar2, and then you would give it the size. This can start up to 20 bytes. the maximum bytes is 255. Okay, so let's just call it 255 varchar. Then I also want to have my last name, and it's also going to be a text field. Then I'm going to have age, and it's going to be a integer field, a number, and only 130. That means it can have up to 3 digits. Right. If this is the second value behind number represent the decimal value. If I have 32, that means I can have 3 digits. Out of those 3 digits, 2 of them is going to be a decimal value. So this, I'm just going to have actually 3 digits, yeah, because nobody can really live more than 999 years old, right? So 3 sound good. I have this. The reason why I recommend the tool anyway, because you can test your SQL syntax and make sure it's actually work. So when you have this, if you click on run, you see that it's going to run and it's going to tell you that table young was created. Now if you go back to test under table, if you do a refresh and you go through, you should see table young in here. If you expand it, if you click on it or expand it, over here you can see all the column and their data type. Nullable just means do you actually need a value in this column or not. Default means if you don't provide any value, what is the default value going to be. Similarly, if you look to the left column, it's going to show you all the columns or attributes in this table, right? So think about your entity design. Entity is on way and now. Within the entity, you have different attributes. So you're basically going from entity modeling to creating the actual table based on your entity design. Okay, so that's how you create a table, right? Again, for database, there are basically 2 things. One is called DDL, which stands for data definition language, and one stands for DML, which stands for data manipulation language. The difference between these is that DDL include what you would say structure of the table, right? This means you can order syntax for this. Going to have create, alter, drop. Okay, so you can create a table, you can alter the existing structure of the table, or you can drop this entire table. Notice you cannot do or change or modify any data in the table. You can only change the structure of the table. That is what the DDL is. DML, again, data manipulation language. This means that you can modify the data in your table. So the syntax that associated with this would be insert. You can insert data into the table. You can update data inside this table. You can delete data from this table. Okay, again, insert, update, delete. Those are data manipulation language. Create, alter, drop. Those are data definition language. Very, very important. Okay, so now I have table young. If I want to see the content from young, I would then write my select statement. For select statement, it's always start from select, right? And then whatever you want to select, okay, and then you gotta let it know from where you want to select. So this would be the table name, right? So as an example, if I do select, now I don't know what I want to select yet, but I do know the table that I want to get the data from. I would do select from, the table would be young. Okay, now over here, if you simply want to display everything in young, you would use the wildcard symbol, which is the asterisk sign. When you have this literally means I want to select everything from table young. Okay, if I run this, because I don't have any data yet, it's just gonna show me the structure of the table, which is column, first name, last name, and age. Okay, now let me insert some data so we can better demonstrate this. When you insert in data, that means you're trying to manipulate the data inside the table, so you're going to use the insert statement. Okay, for insert, the syntax is always insert into. Okay, now insert into what, right? So the next thing you're going to do is to give it the table name that you're trying to insert into. In this case, it's going to be table young, insert into young. When you do this, you also gotta let it know there are choices. There you have to let it know the column that you want to insert the value to, right? So insert into young. In this case, if you only want to insert age into this table, right? So you would then, after insert into young, you would let it know the column you want to change. So insert into young, I only want to insert into table young into attribute or column age, right? Then I would have the word values. Now insert into young value 5. These are the keyword in Argo, and that's why you see they are kind of have a different color scheme to them. Whenever you see this, you know these are reserved words in Argo. Okay, again, insert into is a syntax. Insert into what? Insert into table young. Alright, what do you want to insert into table young? I want to insert into column age in table young, and the values I want is 5. After I run this, okay, now if I do select all from young again, because I want to see everything in table young, you see that it displays one row, right? One mean one row, and first name no, meaning there's no value in first name, no value in last name, but in age the value 5. It's because I just insert into the table with the value 5. What this means is if you want to insert everything into this table, you would have to specify the column. The order of the column doesn't matter, they don't have to line up with your table, but whatever column you want to insert into, the value have to match, right? So if you put them in the wrong order, they won't work. They will work if the data type is the same though. So for example, let's just insert you, I want to insert your last name first, and then age, and then first name, right? The order don't matter. This just means that if you have specified last name, age, and first name in your values, the order of the value need to match whatever column you try to insert in. In this case, because you're trying to insert character, you have to have a single quote, right? So for last name, my last name is Home, age 5, and my first name is Young. The D is silence. If I run this statement right now, oh yeah, whatever statement you want to run, just highlight it, then press this, okay? Now I want to select all from Young again. Guess what's gonna happen? I should see 2 rows when I run this query. First one, I should only see age, where the value is 5. Second row, I should see both last name, first name, and age, right? So I should see 2 columns, because I insert twice into the table. Sure enough, I have it. Now, what I mean by earlier is the order have to match, right? But sometimes it may work as long as the data type is the same. But that's really bad. You don't want that. I just want to show you that it's possible though. If I put last name over here, first name again, and then age and value. Now my last name is not whole, but because it is a text, if I put Young, it will still work because it is a text, right? And then over here for first name, I can put whole. For age, let's just do something different. Just say 10. If I run this, Young is now going to be my last name, and Ho is going to be my first name, right? I'm sorry, Ho is first name, last name is Young. You see how you can insert any value as long as the data type match with that data type of the column that you created, which is up here. First name text, last name text. Okay, so going back to my select statement, select start This means start. Select all. Sometimes you may hear people say all. Select start from, select all from, select all from Young. Right, so everything. Now, if I don't want to see all the columns, I know the exact columns or attribute that I want to display. I just have to add that into my select statement. So I would have it. Let's for example, I only want to see all the first name from Young. Then I would just say select first name from Young. When I do this, you see how it shows me all the record in my table. Remember, in my table I have 3 rows. Now it shows me 3 rows. First one is null, right? Because for the first record I didn't insert any first name or last name, simply age. So it doesn't have any value. Second value is Young. Third value is Ho. Okay. Now, what if? How do I select more column? To select more column, you simple just put a comma after it. Then now I want to select age, for example. All right. Now it's gonna show me first name and age. Okay. Now what if I want to select everything? Then now I just put last name. No, because I didn't highlight it. Whoops. Okay, now show me first name, age, and last name. Cool, right? Pretty cool, right? If you notice, your output display the exact column name. You can also change the column name. A lot of time, the column name may be shortened, right? Or they may be very long, so you want to give it the label that you want to call it. You can make an alias for your column. Say, I don't want to see, I want to select first name, but I don't want the result set to display first name. Then I can give it an alias by using the word as. Then I would say F name, for example. If I run it, let's see what happened. Okay. Now if I run it, you see how my, instead of showing first name, is now the column being displayed is showing F name. Right. Similarly, I can change this age to whatever, right? Don't really matter. Now it's showing that this column is now being labeled or aliased with the value. I can't even pronounce it. Alright, so similar, you can do the same thing for last name. So aliases is just, you don't want to see the default column name. You want to give it a display value that pleasing to you. Okay, again, select whatever you want to select, right? And then from where, insert into, where do you want to insert into, what columns you want to insert into, and the actual values. Okay, so now if you want to do delete, right there, for delete, it's always start from delete from. Okay, you want to delete from what table? I want to delete from Young. Okay, if I do this, this will delete everything from Young. Okay, it will delete everything from Young. See how I say 3 row deleted? Now if I run my select statement, I should not have any values. Right, no value was returned because everything was deleted. I'm gonna reinsert the value again. Okay, and if I select again, I should see all 3 values. Right, see, I have this now. Now if I only want to delete specific columns or rows, I can do what is called filtering. This is why I can use the keyword where. I'm telling you to delete from table Young, and I only want to delete where first name. Alright, see how the cases, it doesn't matter. So as long as the column name match. Alright, so first name, I want to delete first name where first name is Young. Okay, so delete from table Young where the value for first name is Young. This value is case sensitive, so it has to match with whatever in your database. Alright, assuming I want to delete from Young where everything is capitalized. Alright, if I run this, now it says 0 row deleted. Why? Syntactically, my statement is correct, but there is no row with where first name is all capitalized Young. Alright, there is one first name for Young, but it's not all capitalized. If I make this correct, it will only delete this second row here. Say one row deleted. See, first name Young no longer here. Okay, now if you want to provide more filter, you can add more filter to this, but the biggest difference between this and the select, in the select you can select multiple columns by using comma separated values, but in delete you have to use the keyword and. Okay, that's the biggest difference between them. So I want to delete from this where first name is Young and age equal 5. Notice 5 is, it's not a text, so it's just an integer value. If I run this, my syntax is correct, but again I don't have any row where first name is Young and age is 5 anymore. Okay, alright, summary. For select statement, first use the result keyword select. Let it know what you want to select, what column you want to select, from where. I want to select this column from table Young. Okay, I want to insert into Young, and I want to insert into just these columns, and the value would be this. I want to delete from Young. If I don't have any filtering, it's going to delete everything. If I have the filtering, it's only going to delete whatever row match this criteria. Similarly, if you want to apply this criteria condition into your select, you could, right? Because now I want to select this value from table Young where first name is Ho, right? If I run this, I should have one row return. Yep, so enough, one row return. Alright, and again, because I use the keyword where, that means if I want to filter this by multiple column value, I have to use the word and. Now I further limit this query. I only want to see from table Young everything that matches first name of Ho and age equal 10, and I want to see first name, age, and last name. Okay, so that's select, insert into, and delete. Now for update, first user again reserve word update. What do you want to update? I want to update this table Young, and I want to set a new value for column first name. I want to change it to I just call it database, right? Update Young set first name database. If I do this without any filtering, it's going to update every single record in table Young. Set the first name to be database for everything. Okay, if I run this now, let's just do select all from Young without any filtering. Dang it. You see how first name was changed to database for both of the rows that exist in here. Okay, now if I only change, now if I want to change first name from database to KSU, for example, okay, and I want to change it where age is 5. Alright, now I have my filtering condition. I only want to update table Young, change all column of first name to KSU where the age equal 5. Okay, now if I run my select statement again, see how it's only update one row, this first row, because age was 5. Okay, if you want, because this is the where, Now if you want to further limit this update to just the data that you want, you can use the and you can do last name equal whatever, right? Whatever you name your data. Okay. Okay, so that's select, update, insert, and delete. If you want to run drop means the entire table will get dropped. Drop is different from delete. Delete only delete the record in the table, but it still keep the table for you. Drop will drop the entire table as well as all the record in this table. Alright, so I just drop table young. If I do select all from young again, it's gonna error out. It's gonna tell me that table young does not exist at all in this database. Right, see how I say table or view does not exist because I drop it. So I gotta recreate it now. Recreate it. Now table young is recreated again with the actual values. If you want to change the structure of your table, okay, you can use alter. Say I want to add in more columns. Right now table young only have 3 columns. I want to add in more column. I would do alter table young. Okay, add, and then whatever you want to add. I want to add 1 column, so I would say add let's call it address. And this, after this address, you have to give it a data type. It's also going to be text. So alter table, what table you want to alter, and exactly what are you altering. I want to add more column into this. Okay, now if I do select all from young, now you see table column address has been inserted. If I run out of my insert statement and then do select all from young again, you see how everything was inserted again, but address is null because I didn't insert address anywhere in here. Okay, so you can write an update statement to actually update the value of address for the record that you want. Okay, for this you can also drop column. So let's say I no longer want column age in table young, so I would change table young. I would say drop and then age. If I do this, column age will be dropped from table young. Okay? Wait. Alter table young drop age. Oh, I'm sorry. I supposed to let it know the type of this column, the type of this thing that I want to drop, which is a column. Okay, drop column age. There you go. Now if I do select all from young, there you go. The reason why it asking you for the actual structure of age is because when you use drop, you can either drop a column, you can drop the constraints on the table, which mean primary key or foreign key, or you can also drop a view. Okay, and that's why in this case I want to drop a column, and that's why I have to specify column. Similarly, when I alter, I have to let it know that I want to add address, and address has data type which is varchar. This, it know that this is a column automatically. Okay, alright, that's all. That's the very brief introduction to DDL and DML. In the next recording, I will show you more, especially with all the choice statement and unions statement. But I highly recommend you guys to use this tool and practice your SQL right now. At least be familiarized with create table, insert, update, select, alter, drop. Okay, all right, thank you, bye bye.